He's whiny.
Yeah, like he sounds like such a bitch. This is like pinnacle. Like if somebody is watching this and they're not like a crypto person, they're gonna be like, okay, this is this is making me not want to invest in crypto. They're gonna be seeing this and they're gonna be like, this affirms every single opinion that I've ever had of
this is the deep schizo realm of crypto. This is not the average crypto project.
How do the rad cats, like, what do their launch fractals usually look like? I'm like extremely, I don't know. I'm like too jaded on Solana NFTs too, because the only one I've ever seen go up was like the fucking Retardio Cousins.
Yeah, that was
like, and I hated that one because I just like, you know, you get it.
Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, like the ones that are turned like Solana started to enter its novel NFT project phase, because before it was just like fringe like corporate NFTs. Now it's starting to enter like the weird art era. Like there's pain gels, there's Retardio Cousins. What's down?
The Cousins, the Retardio
Cousins. Yeah, they are down.
I should say, when I say I hate them, I don't necessarily mean that I think they're like hideous.
No, they're just not like ideal.
Just from an aesthetic standpoint, I don't like the clown makeup, man. Like I get it. I don't understand. Like if you were to tell me Retardio, like the word, which for those of you who don't know, the way that it started off was there was a post from like Gucci Bucket Hat, I think, that got quoted by Andrew Tate. Gucci Bucket Hat was ending the post with Remilio, and Andrew Tate quote tweeted him and like dunked on him and ended his post by saying Retardio.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's actually hilarious.
And so everyone just instantly spun up all of these like Retardio coins, projects, etc. They all went very up.
I didn't know this lore.
Yeah, no, it's fun lore. It's funny that Andrew Tate was once again, because
he's once again at the core.
Andrew Tate
of a
pretends like he's above all the crypto bros, but he knows about us. He came from this sphere specifically, and he knows how it works. And like whenever he does these things where he like shits on some crypto thing, it's like a sort of funny tongue-in-cheek thing, because you know that dude
he's buying that shit instantly.
Right. He was accumulating for the week before. He knows that when he hits that button, he is going to giga pump his own bags, and he is going to be selling the green candle, because again, he's not an idiot. He may be a lot of things, but that dude is juicing himself publicly.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, what is the Ukrainian government or wherever the fuck he lives? Like, what are they going to do? They're going to say like, oh, like you're using your social media influence to pump Solana NFT. Like they don't even have a regulation that would get close to surrounding what this means, even if they could figure out.
They can't even deal with his fucking wallets. Casinos and brothels.
Right. Like he's not going to get in trouble for it. And fundamentally, I don't really think that he should get in trouble for it. I think you should be able to pump shit.
What is the point of having clout if you can't pump shit?
It's unfortunate that the U.S. government doesn't allow you to jerk yourself off in public like that. But
that's so cringe.
Yeah, it is really sad.
Needs to get their life together. What's the point of having clout if I can't jerk off in public?
Exactly. I mean, and fundamentally, these are not bad NFTs.
Yeah, they're solid.
I'm a little, you know, because it's like the derivative thing to me at this point. It makes me, there's a lot of derivatives, man. There's a lot of derivatives.
Oh yeah.
If you tell me you're going to do a derivative, I'm fatigued. But like there are. Like, you know, like the Tribes of Remilio shit, dude, that's a good high effort derivative. I think that is going to gig ascend. And this one, like the way that I decide if I like derivatives is if they basically copy all of the existing like Remilio assets, but they like don't fuck it up and make it hideous too much. I like it more. My biggest aesthetic grievances, I would say, with the Retardio Cousins are like, I don't like the clown makeup, but they did good in that the clown makeup isn't on all of them. It's not even on most of them.
It's just one of the features, yeah.
And they're not like
they're all right. They're solid.
Yeah, like they're out of the Solana NFTs, I think they're probably like the ones that I like the most. But again, I love the Remelios. I like Remelios more than Miladies. I fundamentally am an edgy 12-year-old South Park watcher. So the Remelio aesthetic is that. It was designed to be exactly that energy. And that's what I like. I somehow wound up being like the Milady guy.
Yeah.
Which
you got locked in that.
Yeah.
You're still considered the Milady guy.
And it's weird. It's weird because I have posts now where I look at them and I'm like, my Milady is actually like sandbagging me. Like if I had like a different profile picture, this would bang so much fucking harder. Because the Milady adds this like weird innocence, and my post itself is like a hyper aggressive, super in your face. Like, do you remember when I was bull posting super hard when we broke 50K?
Yeah.
That shit with a Milady was just absurd. It made no sense. If I had a Remelio on and I was doing like, fuck you, if you're not bidding right now, fuck you, your children will die slaves, you will never be able to afford a house, your children will not afford food, you will have to whore them out if you don't buy Bitcoin right now. Like that shit was not like Milady energy, right? That was
no, definitely not.
Yeah.
You probably could have got away with your bisexual rabbit for that one.
I could have gotten away with a bisexual rabbit for that one, but that was a very like Remelio posting arc. And fundamentally, I think Remelios make a lot more sense in a bull market.
I mean, they're blowing up right now.
Yeah,
they're at least 2 ETH now, I think, or something like
that. I think they're around 1.6, but they did hit like 2.2 or something. But Remelios, they like to like power fuck the timeline in a bull market.
Yeah.
Milady's like frolicking around in a bear market when everyone's dead, right? Like they like doing sort of like an innocent like a horror movie girl dance on the graves of everybody's like fallen account.
Yeah, they're hitting the midsummer fucking frolic over graves.
Yeah, like Milady's have like an unearthly like threatening soft aesthetic.
Yeah, whereas, it's definitely very bear market coded too, is for sure.
Yeah, whereas Remelios are like, I am going to stab you in the face and take all of your money. Like it won't even be considered a scam because of how blatant of a rug pull it is. I'm going to stick the knife in your eye.
I will be rug pulling you, and you're going to take it like a good girl. Like
yeah.
Oh, interesting. That's actually a really good way to describe it. Actually, the seasons.
And it's good. I think all crypto protocols fundamentally need to think about things like this. I think they need to understand that, like, crypto's cyclical. You need to have another half built out. You need to have a plan for the bear market. You need to have something that can, like, frankly, the fact that we don't have anyone who's released a supplement half of their thing, because every single person in crypto pivots into like
health and shit.
Yeah, they pivot into like mental health and wellness and stuff in the bear market when they've exited with their bags, right? So why are there not more people?
Hey, stop giving away the alpha.
So like Crypto Dog has done something similar to this. I don't think he's like explicitly tied it into his front-facing crypto personality yet, but like he understood the energy intuitively, and I think he will in the bear market understand that he's supposed to be like,
I think he like legit just has a supplement company. I don't know if it was like and he mentions it when he's posting, but I don't think it's like it's just not connected to his account.
That's what I'm saying. Is like he intuitively did the thing. I don't know if he knows why he did the thing yet, but like when the bear market comes and he sees everyone posting about, he will realize, oh, I'm supposed to just flip instantly into this.
Yeah, right. Yeah. He's gonna have to compete with Virgin Lucas supplements.
I would like to work with the guy actually, because frankly, I don't want to build out my own supplement backend. It's a big pain in the ass, right? So like Yayo is doing the same thing.
We'll get the dog supplement podcasting sponsorship then.
Yeah, I would much prefer at this point. It's like I know what I'm good at, and it is not building out supplement backend. I can't do it. I've fucking done it before. It sucks so much dick. I don't want to be dealing with it. I'll be the media guy. I will help promote your. I will help promote your supplements.
I was scared that I wasn't using my microphone again, but I am, so it's fine.
No, I made sure to try and listen to the silky smoothness of your voice this time, so that we could get an idea.
Thank you.
Yeah, because I did the same thing actually in the last podcast I recorded with Sue and Kyle. I was recording through my fucking webcam mic, and this wasn't this wasn't like a laptop webcam mic, which is like. The laptop mics are like okay, they're
right,
like they're usable now if you run them through the Adobe AI podcast cleanup shit. But like it was like a Logitech like C920 sitting like 4 feet away from me.
That old Meggle core.
Literally,
like,
yeah. So it was like something from
core.
like 50 years ago. It sounded like I was underwater. You just like there was no saving the audio, man. It's bad. Like I'm gonna be honest, it was just bad audio.
Rip. Yeah. But I got us off track. I forgot what we were saying. Oh yeah, supplements, money. I don't know. That's fucking that train of thought's dead. But yeah, so I'm glad that I fixed the fucking mic this time. Well, I didn't fix it; it just worked. So I'm glad that I'm lucky today. That shit pisses me off. The fucking like, what's the point of having like? I think I'd say like 33% of the time I mess up with this microphone. So I'm glad we got it together today.
We've had a lot of mess ups for like people who have been doing this for literally like
it's because we don't have a manager
now.
We need a manager. We need a girl with a clipboard who just yells at us and checks all this shit. That's what we need.
This is why I had Shoddy come in for a lot of the Ox Fund stuff. Was I was looking at our corporate structure and I was realizing like
no broads.
We need some fucking Excel spreadsheet girls, man. We really do. We really truly do. And I was so happy. We get her in within one day. She's making sort of like standards for stuff.
Oh, is she employed now?
Huh?
You got her employed?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. She's no longer a femso.
She's no longer a homeless e-girl cat wandering around.
That's good for her. She needs
gainfully employed in the industry. She's been doing some BD stuff for us, some online BD stuff. Probably going to be shipping her around, doing that whole circuit at some point.
Love to. We can all go
to conventions together. It'll be very fun.
You should come to this convention. To bring it full circle. Come to fucking Consensus.
I want to make it.
She's coming.
Consensus.
She's coming to Consensus.
I've been in hobo mode for too long.
She's coming to Consensus. I'm at Consensus. You need to be at Consensus, and that's the end of it. I'm putting my foot down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that hard.
I should get the new Miata before going down there. Actually,
yeah, get the little.
That'd be a really fun way to come down, break in the.
I was also thinking of buying a Miata.
Car. I don't know. For those
I'm actually Miata pilled. I actually am thinking of buying a Miata as well. I've been looking at them. I was scared about how small they are, but at the same time, they're like.
Bro, they might be way too fucking small for you.
Yeah, they're kind of. Hey, what are you trying to say? I'm not that big.
You're like 6 feet, bro.
You're yeah, that's true. Yeah,
I'm 5'11".
Oh yeah,
I fit like a glove.
There's a mile between.
Yeah. I mean, my NA, I'm like a little big for it, but the new ones have much more comfy seats, much more ergonomic seats than like the 1994 ones do.
Yeah.
The red ones, it's just such a fun little. And like, I get it. Like, you guys are looking at this car and you're probably saying, Lucas, that's kind of fucking gay. You're a gay man. And it's like, that's true. But also, they're so fun to drive. Like, if you've never driven a Miata, they genuinely are so because
they're fun. You can whip them around.
They're the most, yeah. And you put like, it's literally the Mazda 3 engine that they put in them. And, the new version that they have, they slightly tuned it up by raising the red line. So now it's like, instead of like 150, it's like 180 horsepower or something like that. But like the car weighs like 2,000 pounds. So 180 horsepower in a 2,000 pound car, it actually feels kind of zippy. And the car itself, this is the thing. The beauty of the car isn't the speed or the looks or whatever. It is two things. One is the chassis is so amazing. I don't know what they did with the suspension geometry. I don't know but like it handles so well and it's so forgiving that like a total driver cell, like somebody who's never done this before can actually drift a Miata easy as fuck down like a Japanese mountain pass. Now I'm not suggesting any Verse and Lucas listener who just got their license go out and test this, right? This is not a thesis. Like I'm doing the equivalent of whatever. This is not financial advice with like, this is not life advice. I'm not a life coach. I'm certainly not a driving coach.
Trying to whip that bitch around though. I want to get a little anime wrap on it. Put a little Sailor Moon type bitch on the side, the side of little cat girl on the side of my shit. That'd be fire.
I mean, the other thing is that the RF version, they have that robot roof that puts itself up and down.
You have to get the convertible roof because even if you can't afford a real, like a sexy convertible, girls don't know the difference. They don't care. you're a Chrysler Sebring, a fucking Miata.
That's what I was going to say. When you're sitting there
just,
and you press that button and the roof goes down, I think for those of you out there attempting to attract a mate, Verse and I, that's not something
you're
that
gonna have to put that girl in rice afterward.
Literally, yeah.
Put
You're gonna have to for like
rice,
3
baby.
weeks, dude. Like the fucking moving roof. I don't know what it is. It really gets them, bro. It really gets them.
Yeah, you're gonna put that thing in rice, and you're gonna have a good time.
I will say though,
and this car is not expensive at all.
That's
like,
the other thing. Yeah, it's like
expensive.
econo sedan. Like I can go and I could get one of these bitches used for like 21, 22K.
Yeah,
with like 20K miles or something.
Also, it's also Japanese, so like you can get old ones and they still run fine. It's like the Toyota thing.
Oh yeah, I mean the one that I have. Let's see.
You can get one of these motherfuckers 20 years old for like 8K and have a great time.
I have like a pristine old man owned Miata with no mods. Yeah.
It's like powerful,
this
dude.
This
That's
thing
so
with
good.
the fucking the pop-up lights, man, that I always keep up.
Oh, the pop-up lights are fire, dude.
I have never once put the pop-up lights down. I don't give a shit if they're on or off. They're up. You will look at my fucking pop-up lights, dude. And look, though, I need to find a picture of like the front.
Is manual?
It is manual, yeah. I may be gay, but I'm not quite that gay that I have an automatic Miata. Look at the front. You can't even see, but like it looks like this goofy, like stoned smile. It's the cutest car in the universe, man. And this person is an idiot because they've slammed it and they've put on these goofy fucking wheels. Like this is the thing that makes me so confused is when somebody looks at a Miata, like this Miata specifically, and they say like, bro, I need to make it meaner somehow. Like I need to make this like a muscle car. And it's like it's a clown car, dude. You're driving a fucking clown car. Nobody wants a threatening clown, man. It's like an overdone meme.
Yeah.
Accept it for what it is. Like, look at this. What is this guy doing? This is insane. You're a retard. You're a loser, bro.
That's so bad. What the fuck?
I know.
Have taste. Where's the taste? Only thing I will accept on a Miata is a little anime girl. That's it. That's all you're allowed. You're not allowed any kind of broing it up. The T level is already high enough.
What is the fucking yellow high beams? Like, dude.
That's disgusting.
It's so bad. It's so
already
bad.
based enough as it is.
And then he ripped out the front headlights here, and he probably put some sort of fucking turbo inlet.
It's a very chick car, but there's nothing more masculine than having a chick car. Everyone understands this. It's like when girls have big ass pickup trucks and like SUVs. Your car has to be feminine. You can't fucking butch it out, making it look like it's wearing a jersey and it's just like, I don't know, they're trying to steal your girlfriend on the low.
And dude, this is the thing also is like convertibles. I get it. I get that it's a chick thing. They're fun though. They're fun. I'm not going to pretend like I have no reason to be waving around my huge penis and telling everyone how masculine and alpha male I am.
You don't need listen, there's nothing more fun than putting on like blasting music in a convertible and people just looking at you like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I can see
all I do now. That's all I do is I drive around in a convertible blasting like extremely like 2000s pop music and everyone's like, oh, that's the town homosexual. But
like, fucking rocks,
I'm fine. Like that, it's so fun.
I'm gonna blast metal and like J-pop and I'm gonna have a great time. And that's how it's gonna go.
God, it's so good. And okay, here's the one argument though against this roof, right? So you're going to put the top down and the girl's instantly going to start like, you're going to think she's peeing. She'll become so wet, right? It's going to be just absurd. But this thing in the back actually does it ruins the convertible experience just a little because it makes it louder and it makes it so there's...
Oh, because it gets caught up. It gets caught there.
It makes like a weird wind funnel-y thing. Whereas the soft tops... if you see those guys when they have the top down,
it goes all the way down. I mean, I would get a soft top.
Yeah, it's just the seats, and you're totally out in the open.
There's not enough weather here to matter, so I would get soft top for sure.
And you're also lighter with the soft top. That's another nice thing. You're like 100 pounds lighter, and you're thinking like it's 100 pounds. Who gives a fuck? Again, 100 pounds is like 6% of the car's weight, dude. like you literally will notice a difference in acceleration and cornering because of that extra 100 pounds. Like in my car, my Miata, which is even lighter because this these modern ones, they have all this fucking goofy emissions and sensors and God, this actually looks really good.
That looks
man.
sick as fuck. Yeah,
This looks really
the newer
good.
ones look kind of fire, dude.
They made it look a little like they made it look meaner than I would like, because like I don't want that serious looking of a car, you know, like look at the eyes. It's glaring at you.
This is like that Mean Girl. This is like the Megan Fox of girl cars. Whereas before you had like the girl next door.
Yeah.
You know, the eye shape is different. She got the predatory eyes.
Yeah. And this is the other reason why the people who they like slam it and they put on the other wheels piss me off so much. Is like fundamentally the whole thing of the Miata is like, it's like supposed to be a car about the driving experience, right? There's so few companies now that they care about like driver enthusiasts. Mazda is like, their CEO, the reason that he hasn't come out and gone like all in on EV stuff or really even spun up like a serious EV division is he was because like, I just like internal combustion engines. I like the way they sound. I like the way they feel. I think they're cool. I want to juice this shit as much as I can and see how far we can push the curve before it's over, right? And I like that. I like combustion engines. Other guys do too. And you know, like they could make basically any other model car and they would make more profit using their production capacity on that, right? Like if they wanted to scale out their CX-50 or their Mazda 3 production line and make it bigger instead of making more Miatas, which require like a bunch of highly specialized components and other stuff that they don't really use elsewhere in their product line, they could make a lot more money. But they do this because they're like the only fucking car company left, the only big Japanese car company left that is out here saying like, I love you, driving enthusiasts. You are beautiful and I want to make this thing for you.
Simple as. And I like that. We appreciate that.
Yes.
So
and
anyway,
when people fuck it up by slamming their Miata and like destroying half of their suspension travel and cambering their wheels out, like, oh my God, look at this. Like when people do shit like this, you're just
that's ridiculous. That's disgusting.
You like
how
like
dare
hell.
You?
Like jail,
and also the fucking what is that
Guantanamo
thing
Bay, dude.
What's that fucking the thing that the bumper up there? What's that called when it's like that low? Like not the tail.
Oh yeah, the wide body kits, the fucking wide body bolt-ons.
Not that thing. The bumper part in front.
This
the one that the skirt. That's what you call it. Yeah. I hate that.
And then they have the lowered headlights with the LED.
Stop it.
And then they have the fucking dark plastic turn signals. Like and then what the fuck is this? What is this?
Yeah,
what the fuck is this headlight, man?
Why would you change the fucking mirror like to that weird shit?
It's so bad.
It's
disgusting. The most disgusting thing. And of course, this is what happens, right? You do this to your car. This is the type of person who comes over and stands to you.
You're into a fat fuck.
Right? Like it's the law of attraction, dude. You wide body bolt-on kits, wide ass man, right?
You can become a big back overnight. It's over. Tits start sagging. How dare you? How dare you?
On the windscreen or the windshield too. And then he has a wing. And the wing has transparent.
I hate that shit. At the edge. Oh, that's just. Why is it so big? That spoiler is massive.
It's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life, dude. I hope he's dead.
I hope
he hits a pothole and his entire car explodes, man.
What a fucking piece of shit.
Again, the joy of this car is how good it is to drive, and it driving that well is a product of like it having a suspension geometry and a chassis that's all really fucking good. And this person fucked all of that up. Like driving this sucks now. I guarantee you this is not a fun car to drive. Having a 2-inch contact patch under each wheel like this, where the actual rubber meets the road, it's not going to be fun to drive. I'm sorry. There's nothing you can do to convince me it is. I've driven cambered out shit vehicles before. I've driven the riced out Hondas at these car and coffee meetups. They suck, dude. They're so bad.
So yeah, sometimes things are just better factory. You just got to get the factory made.
It's like if you have a woman. It's like if you had a woman who did. She spent like $100,000 on plastic surgery, and it all went into one breast implant, but she never enhanced the other. She's just totally lopsided. She has like a massive size, like double F tit, but then it's an A cup on the other side, and you're just like, why are you doing it? And she was like, I had to go big. And you're like, but it's
Where's the
that's,
balance?
That's yeah, right. Like that doesn't matter. Like it's not about just the biggest left breast, right? And if you said like it's not about just the biggest, widest wheels cambered out the most to this guy, he'd be like, "What do you mean? What are you talking about?"
Bro,
I think it is.
I saw titties, like a fake implants the other day that were so big that like she had to hold them up. It was actually insane. Like I had to like I could not stop staring because it was hilarious. Her tits, like she was a very thin woman, like probably like 5'9". Her tits were so big she had to hold them, but like I thought she was holding a baby, right? So I so I walk up and I like look, they're like at the tits. I'm like, it's not, that's not a baby at all. And she's just like, what are you doing? Anyway, her tits, I've never seen anything that it was like a 1980s like Playboy porn star, like just unbelievable bimbo titties. And I was like very impressed. I'm impressed anyone would do that still. Anyway, point back to the Miata. It's feel like it's one of those things where it's like they're thinking like average, you know, like it's like the average titty size, you know, but that doesn't translate. You're spending $100K on one titty, right? And you think you're like, oh, my average cup size is a C, but that's not the case. It doesn't work that way. You need balance.
These people are just fucked up. These people, look at this.
Components.
Look at this. These people are evil.
I've never seen anyone like tilt their wheels like that. I actually hate that.
Oh, you're not aware of the camber meme?
Never seen that before.
Here, I'll spell it correctly.
That's so dumb.
You guys know. No, and then you get shit like this.
That's just like so stupid. I like the white on white. That's fine. I do not. This tilting of the wheels is crazy.
Yeah,
I don't like.
Hey, I like your pimp mobile, sir.
No. I like white on white. Like I think that's like more white cars. I like actually white cars. I would never buy one because it looked dirty very easily, and I don't like going to a car wash. But and like
some of these guys are doing it to be funny. Like a lot of them are doing it specifically to act as fuel. Here, by the way, this is what I'm talking about. This is what they like. This is what they look like from the front, dude. It's a literal anime face. And then you do that, and you're like, I'm gonna make it a fucking big dick bruiser, bro. Like I'm gonna turn this thing into like a Hulk monster. You're like,
it literally has weird.
It's very weird.
Blushing things. That's so funny.
Yeah. And it's like there's very subtle edits that they've done to this car to make it look like more adorable, but like.
Kawaii. Yeah.
You need to understand that they really didn't do that much. Like this is very close to just how it looks on its own.
That's so funny. A pink one's funny too.
And then you get stuff like this.
Oh, that's adorable.
I mean, this is like a 3D. It's funny when the funniest are like the off-road Miatas. Actually, like those are like a level of stupid where it's so goofy that I'm actually like. Okay. Well, this guy is making like a Halo. What was that? Like a Halo Warthog.
Warthog.
This is a little stupid, I would say. It's funny, but
it's not, that's cool. I mean, like that's like a hobbyist thing. Fine, have your little hobby. You're not driving that really anyway. That's kind of cool. If that is a.
Oh no, this isn't. This is a totally different thing.
Oh, that would have been sick though.
Yeah, I mean, the funny thing about the Miata though is that like. Mine gets like what is a good gas mileage for a modern car just because it weighs like 1,800 pounds. Right? Like that's the funny thing. Everything in America is so big, right? And it's big for a reason, right? That are you aware of like the meme of why we all have to have such fucking big cars all the time everywhere? Like or like why trucks are so big?
No, I actually think you mentioned this at one of our first episodes, but I can't remember. So go for it again.
It's basically that in order for your car to be allowed a certain range within the emissions, there's like an emissions tier system made by like, I don't know if EPA maybe? I forget who. But essentially, unless you're a certain size, you don't get to be like a certain level of fuel inefficient. And those cars need to, like in order to make a truck that is able to tow 2 tons, you need to be fuel inefficient, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like it's the only way to achieve it. So unfortunately, they just have to make them as big as possible and like max out the fucking EPA thing so that they can fit within that box.
That's interesting.
And everyone keeps going, oh, like, why don't Americans want like small? Literally every fucking American with a truck wants a tiny, like they want something smaller than an S10. They want like a Japanese platform truck. Everyone wants it. It's not because Americans are all like overcompensating. They're the coolest fucking vehicles in the world, right? Like we want one of those tiny 4 cylinders that just has a flat back and you can pile. They're so cool. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can figure out what they are.
Oh, also looks like Pussy in Bio is going crazy right now. Yeah, I've never seen it. What are Japanese trucks? I've never seen these before.
Okay, so this is like a version that a lot of companies will have like out back in their warehouse and stuff like that. This isn't what I'm talking about necessarily. It's the same sort of concept though, where you have like you have something like this, but then this whole flat back is it's flat, right? And they're very small, like they're the size of like a sedan effectively. Oh God, I wish I could find one. There was one that I had. I took a picture of it in Japan because it was like this guy painted it some super sexy color. Maybe if I just do this. I don't know why I put platform in there. Yeah, it's shit like this. Oh, maybe this is it. Maybe this is the term we need. Yes, there we fucking go. This shit, dude. People in America would love this shit. We can't have it. We can't have it, but it's so good.
Interesting. Because of the dimensions.
Yeah, there's some.
But it has like a lot of horsepower and shit. Like it can pull a lot of stuff.
Well, even if it doesn't, is the thing. Like people basically just want a big ass thing so they can haul.
Okay, they want the flatbed. Like technically, we just want the flatbed. That's why people get the pickup truck.
Yes,
and a flatbed that can fit in like normal spaces is like ideal.
Yeah, because
like
a good point. Parking and driving a pickup truck, like it's not fun, man. It's not like an experience that you're sitting there being like, I'm glad this is happening in my life.
That's actually a really good point. Yeah.
And like everyone says, oh, like the pickup drivers are assholes. And it's like, sure, maybe. But like a big thing is just if you've ever driven the world's largest vehicle, you understand that it's not super easy, right? Like there are times when I had to take like a company vehicle out and the vehicle that they would give me wasn't like a nice luxury sedan. It would be like a Ford like F350 Super Duty, like 2022 edition or something.
Anywhere.
And I would be like,
deal with fucking clearances.
Yeah, and I'm just like, holy shit. And again, like, well, if you're gonna be driving it, you should be a good enough driver that you get. Yeah, I get it, but again, there's only like a certain level of competency that the average person can reach in any given domain. And frankly, the average American is not smart or competent enough to ever reach the point where they're a good driver with a Ford F350 Super Duty. Like it's not possible.
It's also hard because you have like hella blind spots. They're fucking wide. They take up a lot of space. Like it is just difficult. It is hard to drive a big ass car like that.
Yeah, and they put all these like cameras and shit on it, and they try and make it like as easy as possible, but it is it's not the same. You don't understand how fucking big you are, and it's not like when you're in a sedan and you can like see the floor, there's like an angle that you're looking down at that allows you to know like how far the end of your car extends past. And in trucks, you're so high up off the ground frequently that it's like impossible to figure this out without like 2 years driving the thing.
Yeah, that's true.
And like again, I haven't owned trucks for like long periods of time, and when I have,
obviously
they've been,
you
like,
get used to it
ones.
eventually. But
I assume that eventually you're going to figure it out, right? But the people with these big new trucks, they typically either don't have them that long because they get them for work and stuff like that, and they get them updated fairly regularly because it's a business expense, like they're a contractor.
Yeah,
or they're not using them for like off-road stuff, and they're not like actually like backing it up or trailing stuff. And that's kind of like what teaches you to drive the big things, right? Or maybe you get your your CDL, your commercial driver's license. And like in order to figure that one out, and you know, like trailing stuff does make you a better driver.
Yeah, for sure.
Like it's simply such a hard thing to do, to have this big ass payload attached, that like there's no way that you can't get it. It's like what happens when you date in America versus dating in like Australia or something, right? Like it's harder. It will force you to get better faster.
Very true. They just you're playing in the fucking big leagues.
Yeah, you've leveled up now.
Now you also have to deal with not only like more backup space, but also like when you make an angle, like the hinge for the fucking payload, and then it's just a lot. You got to do a lot of shit.
There's too much. There's too much. There's so much going on.
Far too much.
Are we buying the Rad Cat things? Are we because like I do like the Rad Bros. I will say though, my main issue with the Rad Bros as an NFT collection overall, they have some mouth traits that really piss me off. Right? Like this mouth trait. How do I literally have to? So I click and then I need to hit zoom again. Okay, this mouth trait.
Oh, that is annoying.
I hate it. I hate it a lot.
I like the easy. No, that's not easy. That's fucking Frank Ocean background.
I hate this mouth trait. It's basically just that like the mouth traits that they kept from Remelios, I think they're fairly good. The ones that they like added in on their own, like this, it's just I hate it. I hate it, man. I hate it. So again, the collection overall, and like every collection has traits that I dislike.
Every time you keep zooming in, I really like all the shitty version of the album covers. Yeah, like that's a shitty Kanye. That's a shitty fucking Bad.
Yeah, they're very funny.
Those are pretty good.
I think overall,
I probably won't buy it on screen. I probably won't buy it on stream, but
I'm not allowed to tell people which of my least favorite Remelia assets are too. So, but there are traits that I'm not a huge fan of in every collection. I'm not gonna tell you the Remelia ones though, because
you gotta stay on brand.
Yeah, too loyal. I love them all. I will say my favorite.
I love the Patara earrings. Love the fusion Dragon Ball Z earrings.
Yeah. Man, I'm gonna do it. I'm sorry. I hate the fucking strawberry hats. I hate them. I hate the strawberry hats.
I like the strawberry hats.
And it's like it's bad because I have some. And it's like also bad. It's also bad because they're trading for always like $5,000 above the floor. Like
that's like premium. Iconic.
Yeah,
strawberry hat's iconic. The hijab and the 9/11 hat. I feel like those are the best.
I hate the way it looks, man. It looks so goofy to me.
I like my black miladies, the cigarette ones, the 9/11 hats.
The one that I minted, my very first Miladies minted ever, it was my Avatar one, and it was my it was a strawberry one. And I was like, fun. Fuck. And I liked mine, but I saw the other one and I was just sitting there like kicking the desk, like, it looks. But all of the ones that I minted were like guys. It was funny. Like on mint day.
Really?
Like I didn't get any girls.
I didn't even know there were guys.
I know. And then you see mine and you're like, holy shit. Like Lucas. And everyone was like, oh, like Lucas, like why did you pick the guy milady? That's so weird and rare. And I was like, what? Like I just did the one that I got. I'm also fundamentally not like the guy who actually likes, like I don't like super hardcore pretending to be a woman online. You know, like every time I've done it, I've made it very obvious that it's like, this is an inside joke that I'm a woman and everyone should really know, right? Like I am woman Lucas or something, like on the profile that I'm logged into Twitter now.
Yeah.
Like this, but it's like you go to the woman Lucas, like it's
like
by a shining beacon of femininity, she, her, like it's,
I don't like pretending to be a girl online either. I mean, I kind of do because I can make different jokes, but after a while you're like, I feel like I'm planting an egregore in my head. So
yeah, like there's something about it that it's just like I can do it as like a bit for like a few weeks or something. And like, you know, we did the woman Lucas account for a while. We ran it up to like, I don't know, like I think I almost ticked 5 figures there, but I posted on it for like a month and then I said, okay, we're done. Like it was fun. And people were like, oh, why don't you keep doing this? And it's like, well, like it's like actually not super easy to like flip your brain into like girl generative mode. And like I can do it and I can do it well, but it like you have to like hamstring your brain into a place that like a male brain isn't really supposed to go. And I don't know think that if you do it enough, it's sort of like a Sith Lord using the Force on the dark side too much. And like it eventually turns you evil, except instead of eventually turning you evil, it turns you into a transsexual if you do it too much. Like you're flirting with a very dangerous thing there. You're not supposed to stay in that realm for too long. And when people have like a woman avatar for like 2 years, I do think that it seeps in a little bit, right?
the programmer sucks, the knee highs come out.
Exactly. This is when you start offering to develop software for me. And then if I say no to the software, you start offering to develop like orgasms for me using your tight transsexual asshole. We might have to clip that one out.
Yeah, maybe. Unless, yeah. Maybe. It's deep enough in the episode. I think like the way that this will probably be cut, it'll probably be the ending, like near the end of the episode, so it's fine.
Oh, you think this is near the end? You're not. I think with me having a fucking thing up here where I can point around to everything. Oh, dude, like unlimited. I don't know why we didn't do this before. This is so stupid.
We tried. No, we did try to do it. We just couldn't figure it out.
Oh my God, we did. We're so stupid. We
tried for a very long time.
We're actually like the world's dumbest podcasters.
We actively tried multiple times.
We were like, it would be so great if we could just pull up our screens on the. But we never had the thought of like trying to set it up before the episode. So we were always doing it like while we were recording, and we were like, oh, like it's been 60 seconds of like subpar content because we've been trying to read this forum. So we have to quit now.
Yeah.
We could this is the other thing. We could make a really good guide on how to podcast, not because we're great podcasters, but because we're so bad at the technicals of this that we've had to like learn everything as if we were like a 2-year-old, right? You know, in the same way that like the best math teacher is never the guy who intuitively looks at a chart and understands what the derivative and integral of it are and mean. It's the guy who looks at it and he has no idea what's going on, such that he has to spend 200 hours studying the very concept of like y equals mx plus b, right? Yeah, that's what we are. We are the podcasting version of the guy who had to spend hundreds of hours learning y equals mx plus b.
Yeah. This is why I was a bad teacher. Well, I wasn't a bad teacher, but I never understood like I was always the intuitive kid. I just was like, I get it. I don't understand why we're doing this still.
This is why I'm a really like I'm good at teaching people how to trade, and within like a couple weeks they can be way better than me. That's still maybe not profitable, but that's.
I read a textbook on trading, and I was like, all right, got it.
Yeah, like I'm really good at teaching people the concepts, the rules myself. I've finally gotten to the point where like I have a system that works for me, but it works like. It's not something I could transmit to other people because a lot of it is also based on like social cues, right? Like, do you know like Vera Technics on Twitter?
No.
He has like a Milady avatar. He's just like a hyper boltard. And I sort of use him as like a reverse indicator. So I saw someone getting really bullish on Ethereum the other day, calling the bottom. And I was almost convinced to long Ethereum based off of it. And then I saw the first reply was Vera Technics saying, moon that, bitch. And I was like, oh no. And I was instantly overcome with this sense of like, the last time I'd seen him do this was the last Ethereum Bitcoin pump right before the entire market just was decimated, right? So like he did that, and then let me see what happened. He did that right before this. Like he did that right before every single asset on the market
going down. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. He did that right before like the massive capitulation candle. Actually, it might have been, I think he did it right before this. Oof. Right. He said, fucking moon that. And then we get this.
No, you mooned that, brother.
We did moon it. We mooned the one over Bitcoin chart, though, not the Bitcoin chart. the inverse chart fucking mooned his shit, though.
Fucking inverse chart went crazy.
Yeah, it went ham, man. He's a great guy, and I love him a lot, though. I'm not meaning to shit on Vera Technics. I'm just saying that I literally have PTSD because the last time that he was that bullish was like
the end of days.
I need where was it? Oh, I'm on the 15-minute chart. No wonder it's fucking. Oh yeah, I think the last time that he was that bullish was like here. So
GG's.
Yeah, I'm scared. I'm scared when he gets hyped, brother.
Yeah, I feel that. I might have to call it because I'm starving.
You're starving. You got to go fuel up.
I have to fuel up. I haven't eaten today.
That's what we could switch off to the different content of too. Is instead of me showing a chart,
hit that fucking mukbang.
Mukbang. What the fuck is mukbang?
It's when Korean girls eat food in front of the camera. You know about mukbang?
No, I don't. I never got into the whole Asian girl thing, so I'm
No, this
not.
is like normal people watch mukbang. Like normal people. This is like ASMR. This is like before ASMR. People were into mukbang.
It's just
I was not into it. I'm just gonna put that out there now. I'm not a mukbang fetishist.
Yeah, and I will actually affirm this. You've never been like an outspoken Asian woman enjoyer. I want to prevent people from slandering you. There's nothing against Asian women.
Against the Asian women.
But it's something that I've never.
Many of my friends are Asian women.
Many of them. Yeah.
I have a lot of Asian women friends, but like that's just not my thing per se, and like definitely not Asian girls eating like octopus. But mukbang was like a big thing in Korea, and like on TikTok there'll still be like mukbangs.
Did I tell you like how many of the women who slid into my DMs on AirChat are Asian women?
That makes perfect sense.
It was so weird. It was so weird. They were all trying to do this like
intuitively
soft
sense your
mommy aesthetic, right? Like a mommy dommy thing.
They're intuiting your Jewishness. That's what it is. They're just like, I smell.
That may be very true. Actually, I
can hear the Jewish nose through the nasality of your voice.
And especially because like, have you noticed that when I say something that I feel is more Jewish, I do the Jew voice, bro. Like I start talking like a fucking New York Jew. Yeah, like it just comes out. I don't know what's up, man. And like I do that very frequently because when I'm talking about stuff, it's like usually when I wind up describing my own actions, I do.
Yeah, like when you do like a introspective like commentary of what you're saying, you switch to the Jew voice. Interesting. So yeah, there's more that's implying that that's what your internal monologue is.
Right. And it's like, but I don't usually actually have an internal monologue. That's not my conventional thought mode. I do it when I'm writing, and I do it when I am about to either do like some performative public speech thing, or I'm like tweeting or shit like that.
Yeah.
But most of the time, like most of my creative ideation is like entirely visual, and most of my like rapid fire, like base level communication is just gestalt info packets, right? Which I think most people actually do this because internal monologue is like an extremely inefficient mode of speech and thought, right? Sorry, not of speech. It's an extremely inefficient mode of thought because like it involves a very high level of thought and care given to every one of the words that you're going to pick, as opposed to just like the feeling of like what the overall idea is, which is a very like quick thing that can be banged out. But there's no reason for me to be sitting there thinking about the difference between like effect and impact in a sentence, in a thought, right? Like, and I understand like it doesn't take like it takes like a few like microseconds or something, but it's still like exponentially more processing power than it takes to just have the feeling.
That's a good point, actually. I never actually considered that. I don't think I really do. I mean, I obviously have an internal monologue, but like when I'm choosing to.
Yeah, like everybody likes to do the thing where they say, oh, like an internal monologue, like that shows that you have a soul. And it's like, dude, everybody who can fucking talk has an internal monologue if they want. Like it's literally impossible that you can only construct sentences spoken word and you for some reason can't think about them in your head. Like the concept of somebody like that existing is just retarded, and if you think they do, then it demonstrates that your brain like works very. It's more
likely that people don't understand the question because they have low reading comprehension than that they don't have an internal monologue.
Yes,
like that's like the level of reading comprehension has dramatically dropped, and like people are just dumb now.
Well, and also people they're not usually very conscious of their thought modes. I think this is another thing, like because most people I think do actually think in like rapid fire info packets in the sense of like it's not like a sentence, right? But the only way that you can express a thought is in a sentence.
You have to unravel it,
right? Yeah, so like in order to translate that into so then people wind up thinking, but it's like, how do you explain something that happens in your brain when you can't like, it's not even like I can draw a picture of it, right? Like it's an entirely internal unknown concept that exists.
No, it's a difference between like
head.
zip files and like opening the file, like, right? Like it's happening in your brain, like in like a zip folder, and it's being handled like, and then like when you want to like convey what's happening, you have to unzip it and still pull the files out. Right. So it's a more complicated process to like, it's not efficient for your brain to operate with unzipped, uncompressed files.
Yeah. So and like we can do it with visualizations. Yeah. But that's different again. Like I think the only way that this fundamentally gets solved is when we all get like neural linked up, and I can literally like, if I can like jack my brain to yours, which again, like I'm not like a huge Neuralink proponent guy, and I don't think I'm gonna be sticking the cord into my brain.
I'm definitely not doing versions 1 through 7. I'm gonna be on that.
Yeah, like that
I'm hopping
Neuralink
that
early
iPhone 8.
adopter shit, bro. Like, oh yeah, like sign me up for the beta test,
Nah,
Daddy
brother.
Elon.
I'm
I don't
hopping
think
in.
so, man.
I'm gonna wait till
think so.
there's 3 cameras on my Neuralink. You know what I'm saying? I'm waiting until Neuralink.
Oh yeah,
12.
we're waiting until we get like the fucking iPhone 15X with the 15 times zoom, the telephoto lens, the IR blaster. Like you get all that shit, man. I think that when people can like hook their shit up like that, though, they're gonna realize that like, oh, like most people don't have an internal monologue, right?
I think a lot of people are just gonna have like it's gonna be like like bandwidth issues. Like you're like, oh, you can't connect to this person because there's not enough bandwidth.
Well, I also think it's going to be like a horrible MOG at some point because like connecting to somebody even like one standard deviation smarter than you, I think is going to reveal like, oh, the fuck, like I'm getting info flooded. I am really dumb. Like oh my God, like I didn't, because like right now there's not really a way to convey what's going on in somebody's brain if they're like a given level smarter than you. Like again, they can try and express it through words, but you can only imagine things at the upper level of your brain's capability. So when you're talking to someone stupid, maybe you can kind of intuit that they're smarter, but you don't really understand what sort of like additional cognitive capacity that grants them. And I think when you're actually able to like witness the inner machinations of someone's brain, that is going to be like, you know, it's like in like JJK when they show the fucking infinity or whatever from Gojo,
the infinite,
and like all the information in the universe is suddenly dumped into your brain, and you just get
you're just like
spammed.
fucking you're fucking stun locked. Actually, that's like a very good point. Like I think like, and also like when you're smarter than someone, you kind of like intuit, like you add things to their thought process, right? Like you're like, oh, I noticed XYZ in the moment. I'm sure they did too. And most people just like, no.
A lot of times they don't. Yeah. It's very
it's
I think it's gonna be horrifying. I think air chat even is a little bit horrifying for people for this same reason, because the rapidity of response with this stuff, it's like it happens in real life some, but like a lot of people, frankly, like they don't talk to super smart people all that much, you know?
True, yeah.
Like it's
you get IQ segregated typically.
Yeah. Yeah, and like you're usually existing within a band of people who are like within one standard deviation of you.
And even then, though, some people were like more chameleons than others, like, and like, you know.
Yeah. Like, are you familiar with like Lita Hollingsworth, like 2 standard deviation IQ communication gap?
Yeah.
And I think I've given you my bit about how I think that like, it's like true a lot of the time, but a lot of it is true because like most smart people are not as empathic as they are smart. And so they can't understand how to like, they don't have a good model of like what cognitive faculties are turned off in people much dumber than them and like what things aren't usable. So the way that they try and explain things is like, it's basically to themselves, right? Like they're projecting a version of themselves and saying, how would I teach myself this concept? And it doesn't work because it's a fundamentally like different species of human when you're dealing with someone who's substantially dumber than you. And, so I do think that when people talk about like the communications gap, it's a little bit of cope in the sense that like you should still be able to
communicate with them,
but like it's true
you just don't
just
want
by
to.
virtue of these people. And a lot of the time these people are like, you know, like libtards especially have this thing where they are unwilling to believe how dumb certain people are. Like you can go and you can take a survey that will demonstrate that the average person in the American population has an inability to understand X, Y, or Z concept. You know, like the compounding interest is a great example of this, where people say, oh, you can explain it to everyone. You can't.
No, you can't.
You actually
that one I know
can't.
For a fact you can't.
There's literally an IQ limit.
That was my job.
Yeah, like under which people cannot conceptually understand compounding interest. I don't know where it is, but I know that like there are some people when you're talking to them, and it's not just like me saying this as like a cope for like, oh, I'm the worst like compounding interest teacher ever. But like you can have researchers use like the best educational techniques and they toss like $10,000 per student at this over like a course of like weeks and they can't fucking do it. Right. And there's a lot of stuff like this too. It's like the abstract hypotheticals, the layers of recursion, you know, like you're arguing with
recursion. I know for a fact you cannot teach.
Yeah. Like
recursion has a very strong IQ floor. Like, if you're not a certain IQ level, you're not understanding recursion. It's just not going to happen.
Like there's a point with every person where if you tell a story about someone who's telling a story about someone who's telling a story about someone who's telling a story about telling a story, at some point, everybody will get IQ gated out because they can't run like enough internal virtual machines to like understand that many layers of recursion. And the same thing happens with, you know, you can represent it with math problems. You can represent it with stories. You can, whatever. There's a lot of ways to filter it out. But this is one of the basic metrics that a lot of IQ tests do to determine where you are, because it's usually like an additional layer of recursion corresponds to like basically another standard deviation of IQ.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it's I mean, like recursion is, yeah, effectively you can only understand it if you can run like simulations in your head, right? So
yeah, and this is why this is actually a big part of like why humor on Twitter will hit different for different IQ bands and different demographics. And like the goal is to have something that somebody who only understands one layer of recursion sees it and they think it's funny for like a given reason. And then you have someone who looks at it from and they can get like 2 and they find that layer, that additional tier of info, they also find funny. And then someone who can do 3, like, you know, like you want to capture all bands and have all of them think about it as being funny, because there's like an additional level of meta-ness, right? Where at some point, the really smart people look at a tweet and they get that it's not literally somebody saying this stuff. It's somebody acting as like a performer on a stage, and they're acting within like the broader context of like the other things going on in the timeline, or maybe the context of their account or some other thing, right? Like there's additional info layers that are being put into this that other people aren't necessarily considering. And when you get those people to like you, it's much better.
Oh yeah, for sure. They're the harder people to get on board. But then of course your account gets too big and then you're forced to dilute. This
is basically your goal in your first like 1 or 2 years of using Twitter, I think, though, is like you want to develop a network of like smart people who like appreciate you for what you're good at. I didn't realize that this is what I was doing intuitively, but I'm now looking back on it and I'm realizing that basically everyone who's built out any large network as a result of Twitter or any real life too, but Twitter especially is this, you know, like Rune did the same thing. You know, he was just some guy who just was like an AI enthusiast, and he basically posted his way to being the prince of San Francisco and getting a very good job at OpenAI, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's the same thing with most of the crypto founders, right? Like, where did they meet these people? How are they developing their business networks? Was it from it certainly was not from any sort of like
LinkedIn or
like LinkedIn or going around. And God, it's so funny too how and like the reason that this works is because Twitter is such like a low input thing. Like tweets being as short form as they are make it unlikely that people are going to like try an IQ fraud and think really hard. So like in a very short period of time, they allow people to go through and read and see like, okay, if this person is consistently producing good or high quality content, like it can be assumed that their brain is just of high quality, not that they're literally spending 24 hours a day trying to like try hard every piece of content they produce.
Oh, that's a good point, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. So like you have like a very smart successful guy, and he sees consistent replies from somebody that are funny, and it doesn't take him very much time to sort of screen this and get like an energy reading on the guy, and he can eventually like after a few weeks he can decide whether he wants to actually like talk to or integrate this guy in anything in his life. Like this is how I've met basically everyone, right? Like this is how we met the podcast intern. This is how we met the podcast intern's dev now, who's doing the world PvP stuff. Like it's just they left like comments, and I was like, these guys,
he seems good.
These guys appear to be pretty smart. Yeah. And then you talk to them and it's always like some sort of, you figure out who they are in real life and you're like, oh, like, no, like, oh, right. Like you're like an extremely successful person. This is funny.
Yes, that's a very good point. Yeah. Cause again, it's like, it's low effort, right? So if your low effort is still better than people's effort,
yeah,
that's usually a good sign.
And this is why air chat is I think even better for that, is because like a random spoken word snippet is even lower effort than that text thing to produce.
Yeah, exactly. So, I've been flaking on air chat last week. I got to get back in it.
I've had people over at my house, and it's just
No, I've
hard
literally
to
like
be-
not been online. Everyone's like, "Where the fuck are you, dude?
I know, and
Are you
it's just
dead?"
it's hard to want to air chat in front of a bunch of other people who are like, if you're not like a super online person, it's like I already exposed them to so much online bullshit. Just
Yeah, exactly.
being me, it feels disrespectful at a certain point to just go all in on it and say like, okay, like not only are you going to be dealing with me podcasting and recording literally 8 hours a day at this point, but you are also going to be listening to me podcast solo into my phone. And on top of that, I am going to be voice to text translating everything else I do, right? It's like you're just going to have to deal with this schizophrenic man walking around recording himself for literally every waking hour of the day. And it's like, I would like to just interact with them a little,
Yeah, exactly. I've been very much off the grid. Well, especially because now I have another plate spinning with planning this egro party. So I'm like, all right, I have another online plate I'm spinning. I need to just not be in front of my computer all fucking day.
Yeah.
It starts to like, now I very much enjoy being in front of my computer and my phone all fucking day, but
I do love it. And I don't understand like those people who say like, oh, like I logged off and touched grass and I feel so much better. Like
I actually feel I'm way more stressed. Actually.
Yeah, bro. When I'm in fucking calls all day, I'm recording I feel awesome, dude.
Yeah.
When I go out and talk to people and stuff, it's like I also generally enjoy it, but it's like the quality of people that I have around me in my real life are not at the consistently like hyper excellent level of all the people that I'm in calls with all day for business shit, right? And so there's just a level of like my brain likes novelty. It likes to be engaged. It likes creative, generative ideas. And like, I go into a call with Bruce. I go into a call with Mitch. I'm talking to you. Like the shit that gets spit off is so much more fun.
Yeah. No, I'm like distressed. Like I'm like, I had to like take yesterday and just like be like, no one talk to me. I'm canceling everything because I'm just fucking like out too much. And I'm like, I need to like, I don't know. There's like a comfort. There's like
I need to recharge by going into my fucking loser den and going and recording podcasts and calling to people all day.
Exactly. But like actually, because otherwise I just start to feel like I'm like coming undone.
Yeah, I'm becoming untethered. My home, my central, but it's like talking to like fucking Kyle and Sue too, man. Like we're in Kyle and Sue, by the way, are big fans of Fantasy Top.
Nice.
I got Sue to sign up a while ago because in order to be a hero, you have to like sign up. And I was like, Sue, like I think like I don't want to say for sure that this is gonna send, but like there's a non-zero chance it's gonna send, and if it sends, it's gonna like I remember what happened when I signed you up for Friend Tech, brother.
Yeah.
I'm coming to you with another similar thing.
I think this one's definitely
gonna might want to check it out. And he's looking at it. He thinks it's really well done. He's trying to figure out like what the plus EV way to farm it is and all that stuff.
That's crazy though, because I was one of the original fucking
heroes,
hero, and I'm not in the first pack. I had to like message him like, I can't believe you didn't put me in the first pack of heroes. I'm gonna cry and kill myself, but it's fine.
Oh wait, are you not a hero on the new release?
No, I am, but they couldn't put everyone on day one.
Oh, that's fair.
So they were like, all right, we had to do it in batches. So he's like, you're next batch. And I'm like, oh, damn it. It's pain. It's all pain, but it's fine. I'm on it. I got my airdrop, or I don't know how the points or anything translate.
They have so many different, like here, let's actually go to the website because it's so, I'll have to make an account with the Lucy thing. I should have used the Ox Media account for this. That would have been very funny. I should actually make an Ox. Well, actually, I think I'm just delegated. I'm not sure. Okay. View. Let's read the terms. Okay. Mm-hmm. Wait, it doesn't even send me to the terms. What the fuck is this? Look at this.
It's brand new.
I love these guys. I love these guys, but there is some goofball tech going on behind the scenes.
There
truly is some wacky goofball tech.
But
it's the same thing. It's the same broken link with the other thing. Oh, view the private. This is a privacy policy. It's airdrop claim has ended. What?
Oh, I didn't know that. That's interesting.
That's the thing. I'm probably the only person in the entire universe who actually knows that these are broken links, because who else would fucking read the terms and conditions?
Literally no one's picking it.
If I wasn't on camera right now, I would never read it, dude. It would never occur to me. That's so stupid.
That's so funny. I didn't even realize. Yeah, I would never willingly press the terms and conditions button. So
yeah, and I'm gonna, let's see. I'm gonna use my own referral code.
Wow, I've never seen this screen because I didn't have to make an account. They like made it for me. That's fun.
Yeah, this was nice because I've never actually gone through this process. Because again, we got VIP'd in as disgusting influencer whores. For better experience, please enable notifications.
No,
I don't think so.
I
don't think that's going to make my experience better, if I had to be totally honest with you.
So much.
Yeah, it seems unlikely. Okay, so I guess I have to fund my balance with this shit, which is like,
oh yeah, that's true. To get into the next, that's a pain in the ass. All right, we'll do this. We'll demo this later. It requires a whole thing. Forgot about funding.
I mean, I can do it.
If you want to do it for the bit.
Yeah, I just don't know a way that I can pull it up without having to pull it off the screen and do it.
That's what I'm like. Take it. Yeah. Either you could take it off your screen entirely, or you can put me on the screen. Oh no, you can't.
I have to like. I have to get down to this one, and I have to pull up my Twitter account, and I'd have to pull up my Rabby wallet and
don't worry, don't do all that shit.
Or no, actually, there may be a way that I can do it on my phone if I take this and send it over Telegram. Now I'm showing everyone my secret alt fake blast fantasy.top wallet, and they're going to dox me and connect it's over.
It is so over.
I actually have been really good about having my wallet shit air gapped. I have I have the ones that are obviously me, because they're like connected to my ENS and shit like that. But it's like who fucking cares? But
my ENS, I don't even own the VLL.eth one anymore, but
somebody bought it out from you.
No, I just didn't feel like renewing it anymore, because I was like, I don't even like 3-letter ENSs, especially not when I have to pay $1,000 a year for them. But
wait, you have to pay $1,000 a year to renew it?
Yeah, they keep upping the price it's like 0.4 or something ETH, so it's like 1K. Yeah. So they keep upping the price, so I'm not doing that. But funny enough, because no one's bought, well, now that I've said it on this fucking thing, someone's going to buy it off of me. But no one's bought it off you, so it still routes to me. I just don't use that wallet anymore. But that's still my address, funny enough, because until someone buys it and reroutes it, it will still always just go to me. So I still have it for free. I've had it for free for 2 years.
I no longer really understand what the point of an ENS is, because it would make sense if everything worked and everything rerouted to that perfectly, but it's probably like 30% of protocols don't. So you just have to still use the regular. And for those of you who don't know, we're talking about this is like a regular Ethereum address. This 0xAA9732, whatever the fuck, long ass code. The ENS gives you an ability to, instead of use that, I could have it be like lukas.eth.
So right? The other thing is, though,
but if not everybody can use it, it's like, what's the point, right? Like when people ask me, oh, what's your shit? I want to whitelist you, but I have to use your address. Don't give me your ENS. Yeah. And then you're like, well, then what's the why do I even have this ENS, right? So it's like, so the federal government can find out your linked wallets more easily. Good luck, actually, because because the ones that aren't linked to my shit, my ENS, are really fucking air gapped, bro. But
the usefulness of the ENS is more so like when you're hanging out with someone, they're like, yo, I'll send you ETH for this. You're like, all right, just send it to this blah 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 .eth. Now that being said, I have found back there used to be the whole, when I bought mine in 2018, 19, I guess it would have been 19. I was big on the whole 3 letters is cool, kind of like when you have a 3-letter domain on the internet. But it's not as cool because I enjoy having silly long phrases are funnier, right?
Yeah.
Those are $10 for 25 years. So it's why the fuck am I paying $1,000 a year for the 3-letter one when I don't even really care about it? So I stopped. And
why would I want lukas.eth for $10 million when I could instead have I'm only pretending to like you.eth for $6.
For $6 forever. Yeah. It's so much fun. It's so much more fun. So that's why I've switched to that. I've been pilled on the long funny phrase.
Well, but the other thing is like when you're having them do the input, they still ask you like, okay, is this it? Is this right, man? So I still wind up writing it out for them, right? And it's like if I'm just gonna send it to them over Telegram, I might as well just use my standard ETH address.
Exactly. That's also the true. So yeah, it's interesting, but I have it for Sol actually because I will never remember that address.
Yeah, it's really annoying that they don't.
But the
all
Sol
use
one's
the
easy.
same
You buy it
naming
once.
Conventions.
You buy it once for Sol, and it's just yours. That's it. Like that. If they did that on ETH, like I would have fucking stockpiled them. Like I bought mine once on Sol, and you just own it. It's like an NFT effectively, and that's just it forever. There's no years. It's just like, and it's also like $20. It's just like this is your address now forever.
Solana does have some nice stuff. I forgot. I really should have gone hard on the Solana. Whatever. What are they?
SNS.
Is it just called SNS?
Yeah, but no. Yeah. Also, not a lot of people don't even use them. I'm like, when I tell people, I'm like, oh, I'm like Verzalin.sol or something. They're like, what? I'm like, yeah, SNS. Like they have that.
Yeah, people don't even know that it exists.
Yeah. I didn't know it existed until I got the Saga phone because they gave you one for free. And I was like, oh, shit, I should have one of these.
Yeah, I should get a bunch because I have like probably
they're
more
legitimately like
$20.
Like not
I have
even like exaggeration.
And I'm getting to the point now where like I started off with like not that much Solana, like not a lot of Solana. And I'm realizing now like my Solana fund has gone very up.
I spent all my Solana that I've stockpiled right before everything started going up. But I started again with $300 of Solana, and we are up big time. And I've been siphoning it off into Bitcoin and shit. Every time I make a W,
I've just been putting it in new wallets because like there's this weird part of my brain where like if I have more than like 50K in a Solana wallet, I'm like
it does feel like dangerous.
Yeah, no, but it's like, and the way that I stop it from feeling dangerous is by just moving part of it to another wallet, which is like,
that still dangerous.
That doesn't mitigate any danger, right? But it's like I feel better and I don't know why.
I just like when I get to like 50K, I like chop it down and I send it over to like Bitcoin or like my ledger or some shit. And I'm like, all right, you stay in the ledger. We'll protect that with, the old fashioned American way. And
I have most of my Solana shit on the same seed phrase, which I shouldn't be saying because now I'm like, like anyone who's tracking my wallet, I just painted a fucking real big ass target across.
I mean, it's still a lot of layers. It's still a lot of bits of encryption for a seed phrase, so it's fine. Because Solanas are 24, I think, or they're 12. No, I think they're 24.
I mean, either way, like I think they're both at the point where, but it's like they're not going to get me by like randomly guessing my seed phrase. They're going to get me because I'm a retard who loves clicking on links.
Yeah, you get fished if anything.
And I have for my Ethereum stuff because that's like almost all of my funds are either Ethereum or like wrapped Bitcoin on Ethereum or something like that. Across. I have them spread out across multiple different seed phrases, thank God. And most of them are air gapped. Like most of my shit is thankfully disconnected in a way that I have. Like it's funny because when people try and like dox my wallets, they find like my friends who have like much more than me that I've like done transactions with, and it's cool because now they all think that I have like $50 million. I don't, but the wallets that they find and attribute to being me are not me. They're my friends usually. And the ones that they don't know are me are off far into the distance because I've had them initially funded by something else, and they have never interacted with like I have if somebody's been within like 2 degrees of separation from any of my actual or any of my doxed wallets, like the air gapped ones don't fucking touch that.
That's smart. I need to do more of that, and I don't because I'm too lazy.
I don't know if it even matters, honestly. I just like a lot of this is done not necessarily because I think there's some big benefit to it, but because I saw people trying to connect all of this stuff, and I was like, I wonder what standard is needed to make a wallet that's like secret enough for somebody to not know.
No, I mean it's definitely a good idea,
and it's like that can always break down because like. There is someone who has to know, right? Because the wallets were initially funded by someone, right? It's like you go and you meet up with someone in person and you pay them cash for like a local transfer into the account. That that does like that person does now know, right? But they don't necessarily know who I am. And they would have to go to like a ton of work to figure out like who I am. And then like they probably don't have a big enough platform that even if they figure that out, they can do anything with the info, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm only considering future AI scrapers. I don't really care about any individual person.
Yeah. Another thing that people like to think too is like, oh, dude, like I washed my account. I sent it to a centralized exchange and then like had the centralized exchange send it to a fresh wallet. You're not fucking washed, dude. I talked to my buddy at the exchange and he told me who sent it in, man. I looked at I asked him who sent this to router number 9 and he comes back and he says, "Oh yeah, sure, it's this guy." You're not, and I'm not like I'm not like a super well connected guy, man. Like anybody who actually wants to find your shit knows like every single employee at every single tier 3 exchange you're using to do this shit.
Yeah,
you're not safe. Involved. You're not safe. Even on bridges, even like wormholing it or something and like going cross chain. It's like it makes it hard for an AI scraper to like pick up or something like that, but that doesn't hide it.
Yeah, there's humans that are going to do the humaning in between there.
This is it's like when I learned about social consensus, right? The fact that all my life I was in crypto and people would talk about like the final layer of security is social consensus, and I was like, what does it mean? And then I learned that it's just if everyone agrees that that
something
Bitcoin,
safe, it's something safe.
Right, if everyone just agrees that we're going to fork Bitcoin because somebody fucked it up and we're going to make a new chain, then that's the new chain because of social consensus. And I was like, wait, oh fuck, god damn it. This is like when I learned that the best way to do hacking is not to actually hack anybody, but to buy a $5 hammer and hit them with it until they tell you their password, right?
That also is true. I mean, or you could just half the time fucking they would just like people have their passwords on their fucking on a post-it note. They would just literally just ask people. Like they would just walk into the companies. Nowadays there's more security involved, but back in the day, until like almost probably like 2005 or so, they would just walk in or pretend to be a customer service agent and just be like, "What's your password for this?" And
yeah, I mean, this was how people would dox back when they were like 12 years old. Is they would go and they would call up somebody's ISP and they would pretend to be really mad about like a service outage or something and say like, "I am this person, like I am so fucking," and they would be like, well, ma'am, like what's your account details? And they would just pretend to be they're like, "I don't fucking know what my account, just get my fucking service online." Like, and then through this process of conversation, they would get them to tease out like their account info. Yeah. They would give them enough to like get their address or their IP or something like that. And from there, they would gather the rest. Right. And then and now they have like more strict terms around this at your local ISP. Easy. But that's the thing is like these people are basically like DMV workers, man. Like they're not that dedicated to hiding your address. If somebody wants to go out and like fucking slurp the DMV worker for your personal info, like good fucking luck trying to stop them, man. And good fucking luck trying to hold them accountable. And when that person goes out and gets all of your info, like it doesn't go back, right? Like you can sue them into the ground, but you can't undox yourself. You can't
undox it, yeah. So yeah, it's fucking. It's never been like that's what I always tell people. Like, is it secure? I mean, yeah, because like no one's gonna really try to hack the actual tech because they don't need to. That's not what's the
right. Yeah. Like the bottleneck is not the security of the technology.
It's you.
It's the like, babushka with the rubber stamp sitting there with the information.
Like, if they want to get to your wallet, they're gonna do a phishing link, and you're gonna put your seed phrase in, or they're gonna come to your crib, and you're gonna have it written on a piece of paper. Like that's how your wallet's gonna get hacked.
Yep.
It's not because the actual encryption is getting hacked.
Yeah. I'm sure there is somebody who's gotten their encryption hacked, or there is some guy who's randomly guessed some. But it's like, yeah, you guys get what we're saying. Like, it's so fucking unlikely that you really should be focusing on a different attack vector.
Absolutely. Let's end on that note because I do need to eat. My head's getting light.
Okay. Very fair. We have a
good content.
Like 2.5 hours or some shit like that.
Look at that. With video, we got this, bro. We're out here.
And the video, I mean, this last video is just us. We have to end, though. We can't just end on this. We have to end on fucking...
Let's show the Mog video.
The Mog video.
There it is.
We have to end on
our powerful sponsors.
Our beautiful sponsors.
We thank you to Mog for all that you've done for us. And and we will continue to shill.
The only coin that is a guaranteed 100% risk-free financial investment. Guaranteed. You are guaranteed to make money if you buy this asset. I am
Guaranteed
not a
go up.
financial advisor. Please do not sue me. I love you so much. Please don't sue me.
We're comedians. There has to be some kind of
debatable. We're
gestures
retarded.
privilege.
We're retarded middle-aged podcasters.
We are for podcasters. We are middle aged. Yeah.
Actually, I think for podcasters, we're like Zoomers, bro. I think in the realm of podcasting, we're like
Actually,
young
you know what?
as
That's a good
shit.
point. There's a lot of old podcasters.
Yeah, podcasting is
Rogan's
like some
50.
like Gen X shit, man.
It is like Gen X shit. We were like basically babies, dude. Oh, dude, I love being a fucking.
I know,
I'm like
that's the thing. It's like we are the youngest people in the retirement home, baby.
Hell yeah.
We are the
brother.
only ones who can walk mostly unassisted, right? Like we're like that old guy
like
who
the
has
spry old
the
guy.
fucking walker, but we're not getting wheeled around in a wheelchair yet, bitch. We
You
got
can
a
still hit
walker.
You can still cut a little rug on. It'll hit a little dance move. You're like, I'm fucking. I hate like all that. He's getting all the old pussy.
We can throw it back. If I stretch for 45 minutes before, I can fucking twerk it out, man.
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah. All right. It's been real. Catch you guys later. Like, share, subscribe.
Oh, right.
Tell your
Yeah.
friends.
Like, share. Also, you know what I'm learning? We used to say, like, join our Discord. I had somebody go into our Discord recently and they said, like, bro, like your Discord is like all of the different colors have turned into like grooming gangs. They're all trying to like groom people into like a different variety of like homosexual behavior. Like you have like you have one like Discord transsexual group. You have like one that's like alpha male homosexuality. You have another one that's like closeted gays. But it's like, and so it's like, okay, maybe we should not promote our Discord. I would recommend. And like I haven't looked in there forever, so I don't know what the fuck is in there, but that's the guy might have been fucking with me, but that was what he said.
I mean, that sounds accurate. That sounds like our fans. I can't go into Discord because it gives me AIDS, but
it is Discord, bro. It is Discord.
Discord itself gives me AIDS. So I try to avoid it, but hit our Discord anyway if you like that kind of thing.
Oh, and shout out to Mitch and his extreme tabletop MMORPG Star Spanner that he's going to be releasing at some point eventually.
We'll have it when he releases it, we could sell it.
We should have him on for an episode too. Fun guy to talk to.
Yeah, have him on. People like the audio. Well, you just got like get cut out or something.
Dude, he got so many followers from that actually, just because people liked hearing him talk, and then they go to his account.
Patreon people.
Yeah, like I mean, he was saying he got like 75 followers, and he had like 300 followers. And it's like it was only Patreon people that saw that shit. So like
people were in our Patreon. When I posted some stuff yesterday, I was like, oh wait, people are commenting on our shit. I never look at this.
I have another like 16 hours of me just on the phone with Mitch.
We have like 50 notifications. So like people are actually active in here. I just don't look at it. I'm sorry guys. I didn't realize you guys were doing it.
It's too much. We need an intern to.
That is really the issue.
I'll go through. I'll talk.
We do appreciate all of you people in here, but that is actually the thing though. Like it's just like I have so many fucking like feeds to look at, and
it sounds like you have so many feeds to look at. So many.
I
feeds
do
to
both feet and feeds.
Yeah, but it sounds like we're sitting here being like, oh, like I'm too popular. I'm so special. But truly, like one of these days, if I learn how to like blur shit out effectively, I need to show you like my Telegram across like all accounts. My Twitter DMs, my Signal, my text messages, my Discord, the fucking Patreon shit, the fucking like the normal calls, the Google Meets, the podcast recordings, the like
YouTube. I got fucking YouTube.
Oh god, I forgot about
YouTube. Goes to my phone.
The Spotify.
My phone up
multiple Spotifys now because I have 3 fucking podcasts, and it's like. And then you have the communications with all of the like setting up appointments with all these people and getting the like funding set up, and then you have the people that you're working with, and then you have the people that you're seed investing with, and then you have the people you're advising, and it's just I am hitting an extreme bandwidth limit that I think can't be dealt with unless I want to start using methamphetamine again, and I don't. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what to. I don't know what the solution is.
All I need to say is don't take it personally if we are late or never respond.
And I do, yeah. Like I do. There's this sense also that people will say like, oh, like if he wanted to, he would. Like that's not true.
That's not true.
Like,
I do.
I actually, and I'm also like a cat where I don't have like a like I need some assistant sitting there and telling me like, Lucas, you've been dealing with this one thing for 30 minutes. It's time to switch off, or else I will just like continue optimizing down one vertical for like 90 minutes instead of go off to the other things. So I don't know. All of this is to say I am hitting like a critical bandwidth limit for the amount of responsibility that I'm dealing with in my life, and I might actually need to hire like a Korean virtual assistant or like a secretary or something.
Yeah. Do you see the occlusive lighting on my face of the seizure-inducing occlusive light?
No, I don't, because I have to click out of. I'm too stupid. I'm too stupid.
Oh, well, you can't do it now because the
because video. I was lighting you, and I turned off my own lighting to see you.
Yeah, it's not gonna work. But
it's the superposition thing.
The people
you observe the waveform, and it turns into a particle, right?
The people know. They saw how like seizure-inducing the Mog lighting. That's how you know it's good content.
It's good shit, man. If you don't have at least 6 epileptic seizures, I don't. What does that mean?
It's like
I'm unfamiliar with.
Put it right in the veins. That's how it works.
It's like an IV drug user reference. Yeah. This is unfortunate.
I would never. He has nothing. He knows nothing about that.
Yeah.
That being said, I do have to leave. I am starving.
For his fifth sign off versus going for real this time, everybody.
We'll actually eat this time, I promise.
Good luck, Godspeed.
Thank you. Catch you guys later.
When he gets older, he won't sound like this anymore, right?